That's some hot tea. As I mentioned earlier this week, last weekend we were in the Morongo Basin area and we learned the rumor mill is in full operation. And you know what? I'll take that as a compliment because people were talking about the campaign. But now let's address those rumors head on. Rumor number one, I am being paid by Supervisor Rao to take votes away from another candidate. Really? Do you know how hard this is? If I wanted a job with Supervisor Rao, I just would have asked her for it. And if I genuinely wanted her to win instead of me, I would have just been supporting her right now. Because let's be honest, it'd be way easier for her to get to that 50% threshold in March without me in the race. I think it's also important to note that I'm the Democratic Party's endorsed candidate, and I had to put so much work into that process. Sidebar, if you're a Republican or an independent, I think there are a lot of reasons you should still consider voting for me, and check out some of my other videos on just that topic. So I have a positive professional relationship with Supervisor Rao, but no, she's not paying me to run. 2, I am somehow in cahoots with the cartel on illegal weed farming across the district. I used to run a CBD skincare company, and the important part there is I used to. We closed up operations for that company at the end of 2022 because, quite frankly, the market totally dried up. And I'm not even going to personally feel bad about it because some much bigger companies had to do the same. I think the other important point to note there is even when I was doing it, we didn't have relationships with cannabis growers. We worked with a contract skincare manufacturer and they sourced all the ingredients for us, so we didn't have any kind of direct connection. 3, I'm also in bed with property developers. The origin of this rumor is that I went to a Board of Supervisors meeting in December to speak out against a large proposed commercialized glamping project right in the middle of a rural residential zone. This strikes a particular chord with me because I also live in a rural area and I don't want this kind of thing in my backyard either. So I went to go speak out in support of our desert communities, and by the way, I'm the only candidate that did that. So on my way back to the car, I bump into the 2 property developers and I chat with them for a few minutes. I think it's important to note that just because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean you shouldn't have a conversation with them. And I think especially in a job like this, it's important to get all sides of the story. They told me this had been a painful process for them and there'd even been a lot of very personal attacks. And on just a basic level of human empathy, I said, that sucks. None of this should be personal. I also said their project seemed like a cool idea somewhere, but they were crazy for trying to build it in the middle of a rural residential community. As a member of a rural community myself, the most important thing you need to do as a developer is get support of the actual community. And I said, you guys didn't do that and look how it wound up. Anyway, someone took a photo of me talking to them and now they're claiming I'm in bed with property developers. And this one's really easy to prove. Check all my financial filings and check all the filings for everybody else. I'm the only serious candidate in this race that's not taking money from property developers, corporations, or sitting politicians. And I'm the only candidate that is well and truly independent. Those are the only ones I know about for now, but now I know who's spreading them and I'm gonna keep my ear to the ground.